Well, Lenox moving on to a sub-state final after a thrilling win over Mount Ayr. Talking with Gabe Funk, Brogan Peterson, and Laramie Stokes after the win. Gabe, we'll start with you. Your time competing for Lenox is guaranteed for at least one more game. How are we feeling?
Feel pretty good. Just like you said, time's coming to win, so just control what I can control and, leave it all out there.
Last year you guys lost in this round, a heartbreaker. You're playing a team tonight that beat you twice. How big of a win is this?
It feels, it's really big, obviously postseason, but, to lose to them twice and, you kind of had that in the back of your mind the whole game, and then just to go out there and take it, it feels good.
What do you think the difference was tonight?
We had Laramie on the mound. He was throwing hard, and then Dawson came in, and, bats were rolling. I think everybody had a hit or two, and, just everyone was clicking tonight.
You had three. I don't know, one of them was kind of, you just got a little bit of contact and you ran it out, but hey, a hit's a hit. Take me through your night offensively.
Yeah, the first at-bat, I kind of didn't line out, but ground out to second, and, after that I've seen it well and putting the bat on the ball and, just poking it out there and getting to base.
Another familiar foe coming up in a sub-state final with Martinsdale. Tell me about, that matchup and what you guys will have to do to have a chance.
Yeah, they're similar to Mount Ayr where we've seen them twice already and lost twice, so, got to try to flip the script and, we know they got good hitters, so Field's going to have to be ready and, just dialed in every pitch. Go
over to Brogan now. A big night offensively. I guess just first off, Brogan, how are we feeling about the win?
Feel pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to feel after a win. I think it was 2 hits for you tonight, 3 RBI. Take me through what you were seeing, what you were doing at the plate.
I really got to see all his pitches, his whole arsenal. I was sitting his curveball pretty well, but I was able to react to the fastball when he threw it.
Gabe kind of alluded to up and down the lineup tonight, the offense did well. What do you feel like as a team you guys did well offensively?
We did really well at just putting the ball in play and just ran out every ball. It was pretty good.
Now on to a sub-state final. What are you guys going to have to do to, win and move on to the state tournament?
Just work really hard, make all your plays in the field, just put the ball in play.
Go over to Laramie now. Laramie, I imagine you feel tired, but other than that, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I think that was a hard-fought team win for us. We kind of battled back from that 3-0 deficit there early, and everyone was just putting the ball in play.
Yeah, you go down early, and it didn't seem like it rowdy. You settled in, and you were able to, pitch your game. I guess speak to how you were able to do that.
Yeah, I felt like I battled pretty well tonight, but I feel like I didn't have all my stuff, and luckily my defense was behind me to make some incredible plays. Jack Reed out there in right field had 2 really, really nice plays that saved us some runs there.
10 strikeouts for your night. What was working for you when things were clicking?
I felt like they were chasing the high fastballs there when I get 2 strikes on them. That was working, and then some of them were biting on the curveball there, and that was also working.
How much different does this district final feel versus last year?
This feels pretty good because we finally came out on top, and it's been since freshman year since we've been to sub-state, so this feels pretty good for us and the team.
All right, Coach. Wow, what a game, what a win. I imagine the blood pressure is still high, but your team's moving on. How are we feeling?
Yeah, really good. Just really gritty performance, 1 through 9. It really took everybody tonight, and we're very fortunate to come out on top against a team that got us twice in the regular season.
When I talked to you after the Bedford win earlier in the year, you'd mentioned gritty as well. And it seems like in following your team throughout the year, gritty's kind of been the word to describe it. Speak to the grit tonight.
Yeah, just tough at-bats. I think back to the bottom of the order, Wiley broke on the late innings, having a big double there. Brogan Peterson 0-2 count, getting him in. Caleb Menifee having some grind-out at-bats in the 9-hole. When 1 through 9's going, it takes pressure off all the guys at the top, and they can do a lot from there.
They score 3 early. What was the message for you guys, and how did you avoid getting rattled there?
Yeah, battle tested. I think that's what our season's done to us. We've had some highs, had a few lows, but with Laramie on the mound, we trust everything he's doing. Defense, Jack Reed having a couple momentum plays in right field, it's huge. And then just first run, get that out of the way and kind of take the pressure off everybody, and just took us 1 to get going.
And then I guess kind of a similar question for the 7th inning, couple errors, kind of allow them to threaten, but you guys shut the door.
Yeah, the challenging part of this postseason schedule is we don't get to play every night like we did in the regular season. So Dawson actually hasn't been on the mound for a little over a week, other than a bullpen, but that's just not the same. So kind of felt that early, but found himself towards the end there, just relaxed, let his defense make some plays, and fortunate to come out on top.
really good night for Laramie on the mound. What'd you like from him?
Yeah, he's just hammering the zone, doing what he's done best all year, not giving up free bases, nasty stuff all around the plate, making these guys guess. A lot of strikeouts early really set the tone. So he was grooving. A couple long innings there that they had, like that one of the 3 innings 3 runs they got in the first. That just we were able to navigate through it, and he was able to pick the tempo back up.
6-run third. What stood out to you there?
One at a time. I know we've said that a million times, one pitch at a time, but it's true. And like I said, when the bottom half's going, everybody else is going, everybody's got pressure off them. So just do your job, one base at a time.
You go back to, this time last year, you guys battled in a district final and ended up losing in a heartbreaker. How much better does this year feel versus last year?
Yeah, these guys are experienced now, especially those freshmen we've relied on so much this year. We asked so much of them, but they're learning, and every day they're getting better at something, and that's what these, the Gabe Funks, the Dawson Evans, Laramie Stokes, the Brody Brokaw, the Caleb Menefees, all these upperclassmen, they're bringing these guys along, and it's super important, and when we're all clicking on the same page, we can be with anybody.
Martinsdale Tuesday. I know you saw them twice this year. What's it going to take?
Yeah, familiar foe. Again, 1 through 9, just got to be gritty. Assuming we'll see White or Squire on the mound. So got to be ready to go 1 through 9. Our at-bats matter, and we're going to have to make all the plays, clean that up a little bit.